Hey guys, welcome again. This video will be a little bit different because there will be a little bit of theory and a little bit of processing. I want to talk about procedures for removing the green cast, the excess green color, because in Photoshop and in PixInsight and also Serial they are implemented. In Photoshop, this plugin is called Hasta la Vista Green. In PixInsight and in Serial, it's called Subtractive Chromatic Noise Reduction. But the question arises, how to do it in GIMP? Can you remove excess green in GIMP as well? Well, the answer to this question is yes, you can do it in GIMP. But first, we need to understand how these processes work. So, for the maximum neutral version of the Hasta la Vista Green or SCNR process, it works like this, and this is the method I use for removing excess green in GIMP. So we have a pixel with the excess green color, and if we check the values for each color for this pixel, let's assume the red brightness is 150, the green brightness is 200, and the brightness of the blue color is 100 for one particular pixel. These are just the values I assumed for the purpose of this tutorial. So what these processes do with these values, it goes in two stages. The first stage is that the red color and the blue color for this particular pixel are checked, and as the formula here says, the bigger value is considered, is taken. So if we have 150 for red and 100 for blue, then our M, our value which will be used in the second stage, will be 150, equal to the red value, because this value is bigger than the blue value. So we have the 150 value, and in the next stage we compare what is the value of the green channel for this particular pixel, and as the formula here says, the smaller value is taken. The value for the green channel and the value of the M are compared, and the smaller value is taken. So for the value of 200, instead of the value of 200, we have new green value, which will be 150, equal to the M value. So basically, the brightness of the green channel is reduced from 200 to 150. So what we get as a result is a pixel with a new modified color with the reduced green cast, because the red value is still the same, 150, the blue value is still the same, 100, but the green value is reduced to the next biggest value, so in this case 250 for the red channel. As the outcome, as the result, we are getting pixel which is not so much blue, which is not so much green, sorry. Pixel with reduced green cast. Okay, so this is how it works for pixels which have excess green. But in the image there are also pixels without the excess green in other colors. What happens to them? So let's check it out. For a pixel which doesn't have the excess green, if we check the values, the color values, let's assume the red is 150, the green is 100, and the blue is also 100. What this procedure does, similarly to the previous example, it takes the red and blue, checks the values for these color channels for this pixel, and takes the bigger value, as the formula says, the maximum from red and blue. So the bigger value is 150, so 150 will be our M value. But now in the second stage, if we compare the M value, the 150, with the green value, which is just 100, it's darker, the outcome will be just 100, because 100 is smaller than 150. So as a result, the outcome of this process in the case of pixel without excess green is that the color of this pixel remains unchanged. We still have the same color because the green value was smaller than the highest value from red or blue colors. So the summary of these processes is that the effect is the reduction of green cast, but only for pixels which have the excess green. The other pixels, the pixels in other colors without this green cast, remain unchanged. So now let me switch to GIMP, and I will show you how to do it in GIMP, how to reduce the excess green. So those of you who watched my previous video may remember this image. This is the image of the double cluster. Two open clusters between the constellations of Perseus and Cassiopeia. I made this photo using the achromatic refractor, and I think this is the reason why I have such greenish cast in the centers of the stars, because the red color is not perfectly focused, it's bloated, so the brightness of the red color in the centers is too low, and I think this causes the greenish cast. But anyway, there is an easy way to remove it using the equivalent of the Hasta la Vista green or SCNR process in GIMP. So I already made a small selection in this image because I want to have precisely the same area for the before and after removing the green cast to show the differences. So first we will select edit, copy, edit, paste as new image. This is our small area, and now we can check, we can measure if there is really too much green. To do this, we select the color picker tool. You can change the size of the color picker by pressing the Alt key and rotating scrolling your mouse wheel. So the smallest possible size of this color picker is 3 by 3 pixels, which I will use right now. And to measure the values of this area, you need to press and hold Shift key and press the left mouse button on the area you want to measure. So for these pixels in the center of the stars, we are getting green, which is 50%, we are getting blue, which is 47%. If we check another star, there is 47% green and 42% blue. So we can clearly see that there is too much green. To reduce it, what I will do is I will press right mouse button, choose colors, and choose components, decompose. To decompose the image to red, green and blue layers. Now I turn off green and I set the blending mode of the red channel, red color, to lighten only. This is the equivalent of this part of the equations. Let me come back. Oh, this is this part. I set the red and blue layers, I set them to be visible, and I set the blending mode of the red layer to lighten only, and this is the equivalent of this equation. I have red channel, I have blue channel, and I compare the values, and I take the bigger value of these two values. I take the bigger value, in our case it is 150, this is our M. So, let me go back to GIMP. So the blending mode is set to lighten only. Now I press right mouse button, new from visible, and I can change the name of this layer to M, because this is our M, the layer consisting of only our M values for each pixel in this image. Okay, so we have M values. Now I set the blending mode to normal again. And now I take the green layer. I will set the blending mode to darken only. And this is the equivalent of the second part of the equation. This is this. Minimum value of these two, of green and of our M value. So darken only, this blending mode will take the smaller value of these two layers. When I unhide this layer, the image becomes darker. I press right mouse button, I choose new from visible, and I can name it, I usually name it new green, but for the purpose of this tutorial I can name it G prime, G with the asterisk, and new G, new green. So yeah, I can delete the old, I can delete the old green layer. So we have the layer with M values, and we have the corrected, the layer with corrected green. So I can also delete the M layer. Let me move the new green layer between the red and blue. And now, if I choose colors, components, compose, red, green and blue, I have a new layer with the reduced green cast. If I copy it and paste it over the original image, edit, paste as new layer, we can see that the values are not, the green cast is gone. The values are not so green. We can clearly see it in the center of stars. They are bluish in the new version, the corrected version, and they are definitely green in the old version. To be 100% how to say proper, we can make another step, because if you look more closely, if you look closer, you will see that there are some, comparing to the old version, the uncorrected one, in the new version there are some darker spots which appeared in places where there was this excess green, the greenish cast. So what we can do is we can duplicate the original layer, move it on top, set the blending mode of this layer to luminance, and activate the layer with corrected colors, and also activate unhide the layer, the original layer. In this way, we take the corrected color from the lower, the corrected version, and only the information about brightness of pixels from the uncorrected version. So the outcome is, if we choose new from visible, the outcome is the layer which doesn't have any excess green and has exactly the same, each pixel has the same brightness as in the original layer, but with corrected colors. So right now we can compare it again. This is the corrected version, and this is the version with excess green. We can clearly see the difference. This is the corrected one. This is the one with the excess green. So this is it for now. This was very simple. I think it's very simple trick for removing the excess green in your astrophotos, and you don't need to use Photoshop and Hasta La Vista Green plugin, and you don't need to use PixInsight with the subtractive chromatic noise reduction process. You just can use GIMP. And one more thing, why one may ask why to use GIMP if you can use it, or you can reduce the green cast in Photoshop or PixInsight or in Free Serial. There is a reason why I do it in GIMP, and the reason is because in GIMP provides you more flexibility. I can, as you probably saw in my, I hope you saw it in my previous videos, in GIMP I can do everything. I can correct shapes of stars, I can correct colors of stars, I can remove the green cast as well in the way I just showed you, but I can do it also selectively using masks, using selections. So I try to do everything in GIMP because it provides more flexibility. It gives me more options to work with the image. Okay, so this is it for today's video. I hope you will find this useful, and see you next time.